I thought I'd showcase some Hot Wheels that I own, or at least Hot Wheels size. They're from different companies. I used to have a whole bunch of these, like close to 700 of them, I guess, and I decided I didn't need most of them. I just wanted to keep some ones that were special to me. I've got ones here from different movies and TV shows. I've got some ones that either I owned or I knew people that owned these cars, or, simpler versions of them for the most part. A few dream cars that I admire over the years, and a couple of classic ones over here. I'll go ahead and just go through some of these. Some of my dream cars would include the Vector, which was an American sports car that tried to keep up with the Lamborghini and the Ferrari back in the 80s. There's a pair of Ferrari 308 GT SIs. That was the same car that you saw in the old Magnum PI TV show back in 1981 or so. That's a Nissan Skyline, one of the fastest Nissan vehicles in production. That little motorcycle there is it's kind of a concept vehicle, but they came out with a limited production called the Tomahawk, and they basically took a modified motorcycle chassis and strapped a Viper V10 motor to it. And from what I've heard about it, it's such a fast vehicle that the people that tested it are too afraid to see how fast it'll go, because it'd probably do 200 to 300, maybe 200 to 250 miles an hour possibly. I got a Dodge Viper, a 69 Boss Mustang, a 69 or 70 Mercury Cougar, a Volvo XC90. Okay, I do have those Lamborghinis. Yeah, the two Lamborghinis. The Lamborghini Countach, my favorite color, black, and there's a Lamborghini Diablo. Okay, some of the cars I've owned, or I knew people that owned them. There's a Volkswagen Squareback. That's the one that's right in the center there. I actually owned two of them. One had a good body, but all it was just a body. The other one had a good interior, but the body was falling apart. And I was going to combine the two, and it never happened. The next one's a Datsun 510. This one's a kind of a sport version of it, but my brother actually owned one of these, just a simple version. The next one's about a 1961 or 62 Triumph 3. My dad actually had one of those in black. The next one there is a Pacer, and my cousin actually had three of those at one time. The next two here I actually own. They're my first two cars. The first one is a Dodge Omni 024 from 1979. I had one that looked just like this, except it had a sunroof. The next one here was one I had a couple years ago, and this looks just like it. It's a 1976 Olds Cutlass. The one I had was an Olds Cutlass Salon, but it looks identical to this, the same color and everything. It was a nice car, but it got to where I couldn't find parts for it, and I finally had to send it to the junkyard, and they were happy to snag it up. They wanted it as a demolition car. That one's a 1970 Ford Maverick. We had one just like that in blue. It was a piece of junk, but it ran. The next one over is a early 1960s Corvair. My dad had a couple of those back in the 60s and 70s. Next one my dad actually had, but a different color, is a 1978 Ford Thunderbird. And my dad had one that was a dark blue with several colors mixed together. And there's a Cadillac hearse. My cousin actually got one, a little older than this one, and he used it for his wedding car back in the 80s, so I thought that was kind of fun. Okay, we got some, these are cars that were in various movies and TV shows. We have a couple of police cars. We got one here. This very first one I'm looking at is one of the squad cars they used in the movie Demolition Man. We got the two cars here from the Blues Brothers movies. The car from the Andy Griffith Show from Mayberry. We got two of the squad cars from the old, it was a generally, shoot, I can't think of the darn show now, hold on. Okay, it's the Dukes of Hazzard. I couldn't think of the TV show, sorry about that. The next one over, these are two unmarked cars. One's from the old 1960s show Dragnet. I think it's some kind of a Ford or something like that. The other one, it's a Ford Torino, and I can't remember the darn name of the show it came from. It was an old 70s show, and they remade it into a movie. I got two of the cars that are from the music group ZZ Top. One is the Eliminator, and the other is Cadzilla. I got all the Batmobiles, as you can see. I've got the old 60s show one, and I got ones from the movies, and the newest movie I haven't seen yet, so I don't know if I've got the Batmobile from that one or not. There's Knight Rider. There's two of the cars from Austin Powers. let's see here. I got the Monkey's car, the old Green Hornet show from the 1960s. Two of the cars from the Munsters. One was their daily driver. The other one was a modified dragster. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. The Partridge Family school bus. They got one here. That orange one is actually the one from The Simpsons. It's the one that Marge Simpson always drove around in. The Ecto-2 from Ghostbusters 2. They actually had the first one out, but I couldn't get it. And there's a DeLorean from Back to the Future. And that is actually the car from the old Enterprise commercials, the one that was wrapped in looked like a paper bag, and all I did was tear enough off the windshield so you could drive out of it. I actually got this from Enterprise itself. I did surveys for the company for a while there. Let's see if I can. It does actually say something. Let's see if I can get this to work. It actually talks. I got a couple of classics here. Oh, let's see here. An old Gremlin, about a 55 Chevy Nomad, a Hudson, like a 55 or so. I think it's like a 59 Ford Thunderbird, and then of course got an old Volkswagen Beetle. I think that's about it here. Most of the rest of these, I got the Nissan Skyline and some of the other cars here. These were just. Oh, yeah, I also have a NASCAR 50th anniversary collector's car that came in its own little case. And I used to collect a couple of those, but back in the 90s, including the Jeff Gordon 24 car, which was really popular back then. But I gave those up. I found some kids that actually would buy these. But anyways, this is Wario 7793, and these are some Hot Wheels that I collected. And I'm going to keep these in my collection. Probably got less than 100 left out of all the ones I had, and I'm happy with that. And thanks for watching.